Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
And welcome back to the Infowars Nightly News. Joining me now is Rob Dew. Here we're going to give you an update on the Super Tuesday election results. Some people are actually calling this Titanic Tuesday because this is the kickoff to the high-stakes winner-take-all season.
There you
go.
go.
This is where we find out, are we on a crooked path to the rigged system, or are the votes actually going to count?
Just so everybody knows, it's all crooked and it is all rigged. But that just really have the establishment fuming at this point because they're calling it now for Donald Trump. Over 1 million votes in Florida. I mean, totally devastating victory. 99 delegates going for Trump. Rubio, about half as much. Ted Cruz, just a third of that.
Yeah.
Just totally devastating.
So Rubio's, of course, made his last stand, and now he has dropped out of the race. Congratulated Trump on the very big win.
In fact, we have the article on Infowars.com. Rubio drops out after devastating loss to Trump in Florida. And let's go down to this tweet from Todd Harris, who is a campaign advisor for Rubio. He said, media needs to chill. The Florida Q poll numbers are way wrong. We're going to win Florida, period. Take it to the bank. Take it to the bank. I hope people are taking him to Twitter, taking him to task on Twitter for calling it. Todd Harris, you're probably I guess you are going to need a new job because the campaign is over.
And now at 7:50 p.m. Central Standard Time, they're calling it for Kasich, even though there's only about 19% of the votes in for Ohio. Now, that's not a surprise. They were pretty much thinking that Kasich was going to win Ohio.
And I could see the headlines tomorrow. Mainstream media is going to go, looks like Kasich is building up steam. He's really going to take it now.
Oh,
He's got all the vote. This is it. Kasich's really going to be in charge. And it's going to be really funny how they spin this.
This is exactly what they did with Rubio a couple weeks ago, and we see how that turned out. Now, if Kasich, of course, he's going to be coronated by the mainstream media. It's his one state, so he's the one state wonder. He still will need 106% of the remaining votes to win legitimately.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There is a chance because listen to this. Reuters is actually selling this idea that he's going to be this outsider. He says Kasich promised the crowd he'll never be beholden to Washington insiders if he wins the White House in November.
Right.
But that's exactly who he's going to be beholden to because that's who's going to get him elected. Because
big fan of the NAFTA superhighway.
Well, behind the scenes, they're studying arcane party rules that they believe could offer a path to the Republican nomination if he wins in Ohio tonight, which they're calling. So, I mean, we're seeing just all sorts of scrambling. Let's go ahead and see what do we have here. And back in 1850, what did we do to win this election? I mean, he's one state that he's won now, and they're saying he could actually become the president of the United States. So
it's totally ridiculous. But in fact, now the GOP leadership is now going to meet with Trump. It looks like tonight at some point.
Yes.
And
we know that the GOP establishment has been completely against Trump. We got to take him down. But now they see
they're going to concede, I think, at this point and bow down to him as he's really defeating them at their own game. And in fact, we have footage. They were having a pre-meeting. The GOP establishment was right before they meet with Trump. And here's what happened.
You look terrible. I want you to eat. I want you to rest well, and a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
There it is.
And that's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. So
we'll see
hopefully they don't give him that offer.
Yeah.
And hopefully Trump doesn't take it.
Yeah.
Hopefully Trump goes on the offensive.
That's pretty much where we're at now because we know they keep saying they're going to have this contested convention. They're making these smoke-filled backroom deals. I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see what happens here.
We'll see. And right now we have Richard Reeves actually on the ground at the Mar-a-Lago Club, which is where Trump is going to be giving his victory speech in Florida, where he won an overwhelming majority of the votes. I think Rubio won one little county in Miami where spring breakers are just letting loose at this point, having giant foam parties in celebration. But let's go to Richard Reeves right now.
The establishment has been confounded and befuddled, and Mr. Trump can be happy about that because I think it will work to his favor. the establishment has been able to figure out the best plan so far to try to stop him. They tried perhaps having Marco Rubio, having folks get behind him in Florida. That didn't work out when Marco Rubio self-destructed his campaign nearly 3 weeks ago on Thursday night at the University of Houston debate when he went outside of decorum. And like we've talked about in previous shows and broadcasts, the establishment Republican audience and voters do not like it when candidates get out of decorum. They can tolerate just about anything else. They can tolerate them being a little bit wrong on one issue or another, but they could have a candidate that's perfect on every issue, First Amendment, Second Amendment, right to life, etc. But if they go outside of decorum like Marco Rubio did, they will get tanked. And you saw that happen with many states, resulting in single digits for Marco Rubio. So they've failed with Marco Rubio. The best so far is, as far as the establishment being able to coalesce behind a candidate, is going to be behind John Kasich in Ohio. So we're going to find out what happens with John Kasich. They've tried to get establishment Republicans behind him, and also John Kasich has extended his hand to the left side by talking about amnesty and granting legal status and or citizenship to illegal aliens and having a more open border stance. So Kasich is using his machine to his best, aligned to all the different factions that he can to have them come over and vote for him in this primary so he can try to win a state. So folks, we are in Mar-a-Lago tonight. Donald Trump is expected to be here around 9 to 10 p.m. So here's the situation, folks. I think, like I said, Donald Trump's going to benefit from the confusion and befuddlement of the establishment, but look for a Ted Cruz surprise. Look for Ted Cruz to come in a surprise state in Missouri or Illinois or North Carolina. Look for Trump to win Florida, and right now in Ohio, like I said, with the establishment forces doing the best to coalesce behind John Kasich and all the different ploys in Ohio, the double voting for the ballot's got you where you have to vote twice so you can vote for president. I couldn't ever understand it, even though we went to an Ohio voting office to try to understand what the situation was in Ohio. Very confusing in Ohio. Even a voter, a worker there at the poll could not explain the ballot. So anyway, we'll be uploading this, so make sure to stay tuned for more Infowars.com and the Alex Jones Show, and we'll have more reports from Mar-a-Lago later.
And that was Richard Reeves on the scene. I mean, he and Josh Owens over the weekend really just amassed a variety of videos, just going into the crowds with these protesters yelling at each other. There's one, anti-Trump protesters go berserk, over 250,000 views. There's another one with 750,000 views. Black Trump supporter accosted by Black Lives Matter protesters. They don't like it if another black person is for Trump, the Black Lives Matter people.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think they speak for the majority of Americans. That is definitely a very large vocal minority. But, and they've even got, they've captured all kinds of people in their movement that if you say anything outside what they say, then you're automatically racist. Look, hey, let me just say something, Black Lives Matter people. Black people sold you into slavery in Africa. You know, that's how, if you want to take it all the way back to the beginning, that's how it happened. So please send me some hate tweets if you want. But let's go and look at what's going on in North Carolina right now.
So yeah, it's 7:57 now, Central Standard Time. And in North Carolina, very close between Trump and Cruz.
34% in.
Yeah, 39. It's about almost 40% for Trump at this moment. In Illinois, they've only got about 3% of the votes coming in, but they're saying, you know, it's a little.
But these can all go either way at this point.
Yeah,
nothing is certain.
So we will not be going live long tonight. So you'll have to either stay tuned to your own TV set, or of course, I'm sure Alex Jones will be there with the update tomorrow on the Alex Jones Show at 11 a.m.
And I just want to give a quick update. People were going after Trump, saying people were doing the Heil Hitler. Look at this. I tweeted this out today, right here. Here's Bernie Sanders raising his hand. Oh, that obviously means he's signaling Hitler at this point.
Catching the cab? Oh, I don't know.
What's he doing? There he is, right there. Oh man, look at that, Bernie Sanders.
Pictures worth 1,000 words.
And look, here's Hillary. This was from Ben Garrison, Heil Hillary. I mean, everybody's doing it. Everybody raises their hand. That doesn't mean they're for Hitler. So don't believe the hype from the mainstream media. They're going to be talking about this tomorrow, how Kasich had a big upset. And, we got to watch out. This is the surge we've been hoping for from an outside candidate.
You only have to have
Ridiculous.
impossible odds to become the president.
Right.
Like, just ask John Kasich. All right, well, thank you for tuning in to the Infowars Nightly News. We'll see you here again tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there was a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, Infowars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level.